Right, good morning, everyone. We shall start the class for today. Okay. Um, Today it's only a course induction class. So let me see. Right, good morning, everyone. Let's start the class for today. Right. I hope you all can listen to me now. So let me just do some adjustment. Right, today is only a course induction class, so it's kind of like an orientation. We don't have any proper notes today. We don't have any notes today. It's basically just to lay down some of the rules. What are we going to do for the next 10 months? What we will do, what you will have to do. So it won't be a 3 hours full lecture today, probably about 2 hours or so, I think. Normally for all the course, a class, it's a 3-hour lecture, and we will have a break about 50 minutes or 1 hour. So we will have two breaks in between. But for today, I don't think so. Since it is quite a chill one. So you just have to sit back, relax, and listen to me talk. So I don't think we'll have any break. So we will just go straight probably for 2 hours, and then we can finish up. But tomorrow our real work starts, okay? Tomorrow we will have civil procedure, and then we will have professional practice, and then we have general paper. So after today, you will know what to do. You will have a very clear idea what are we trying to do, what kind of things you'll be getting, what kind of notes you'll be getting, how you would assess all these things, what we'll be doing, what's your study timetable, what's your timeline, how you're going to organize your notes. I'll be talking a lot of different things today. And all the classes from this week, Monday to Thursday, I will upload it all on YouTube as well for everyone to watch it. You can share it with your friends or anyone, your parents, if they wanted to know, oh my God, my kids know who are they joining this class, because they might not know me. It doesn't matter. You can share it with them, and you can tell them, the style. You can see the kind of style that we're doing here, my vision, my ideas on a lot of different things. Okay, so today you don't have any notes, so don't worry about it. So you just have to sit back, relax, chill, and just listen to me talk about it, and then we will start the real course. Okay, tomorrow we will start real course tomorrow. Okay, so I have a few slides I wanted to go through with you today, but before I go through with you, I just want to go through a little bit of introductions, and then we will go straight to what we need to look at today. Okay, wait a minute, where's my stuff? Okay, one thing I wanted to mention. Whenever I teach, right, we use Google Meet, right? Sometimes, not often, one or two times or three times, sometimes maybe I forgot to switch on the mic on Google Meet, and then I keep talking, and then you may not listen to me. And try not to comment on Google Meet, because I may not focus on what you say on Google Meet. So just WhatsApp me straight away and say, Dennis, I cannot hear you, whatever. Because sometimes I may forget to switch out the mic. But I think now everyone can hear me, so I don't see anything. So, okay, let's start. Right, I think you all know my name by now. It's, okay, Dennis. Okay, my surname is Chong. I think most of you will have known me from social media, because I started posting about CLP back in 2022. All right, 2022. And then it has been 2 or 3 years since then. Now, I'm a little bit surprised, because there are actually quite a few students this year in the full course. They are actually from my hometown. Okay, I am actually from Batu Pahat, Johor. So there are actually quite a few. This year they are actually from Batu Pahat, Johor. I think about 3 or 4 of them in this class. And I was like, when we were doing the enrolling, I was like, oh, it was a surprise. I think last year I have 1. The year before that I had 1 as well. And then this year I have like 4. And I was like, oh, that's a nice thing. So just a little bit more about me. I think you all know as well, law was not my first degree. I started off, my first degree was pharmacy back then. I was actually a pharmacist, and halfway through, when I was working in the government, and then I studied for a part-time course in law. And then after that, I done it. Once I done that, I didn't do my CLP because at that particular time, I know I don't want to be a lawyer, right? Now, if you ask me why did I study a law course, we talk more about it as we progress, okay, as we move on. And then during the COVID time, I did my CLP because one of my friends texted me and said, hey, let's do CLP together. And I was like, I need to study again. And then I was thinking about it, well, it's COVID, it's MCO, I have nothing to do, I cannot go anywhere. And then, okay, let's do it. So I bought some books and bought some notes, and then that's how it all started, and the rest is history. And then halfway during the course, I was like, no, I need to teach this course myself, because I kind of love teaching. Okay, now the second thing I want to talk about is I want to clarify something to all of you here. I am not a lawyer. First thing, I have all the certs, degrees and everything, but currently I'm not practicing, and I don't have any plan to practice now, because my passion is not in law. My passion was never in law. My passion, my interest, it's in teaching, is in education. So sometimes they may think that I'm not. So even though I have all the certs and things, but I didn't practice. And I don't foresee myself practicing right now. Maybe, who knows, sometime in the future I might practice, but not now. Because my passion is always in teaching. It's just so right that the subject that I teach you all right now is in law. And who knows, sometimes in the future that I may teach something else like accounting, finance, mass comm, science, pharmacy, medic. I don't know. Okay, it's just I love and I enjoy teaching. I have a very different kind of visions, philosophy and ideology when it comes to education, when it comes to teaching, and I'm kind of obsessed with it. Now, I used to study in the UK for my degree, pharmacy. I was there for 4 years for my uni, and I worked there for 2 years. So I was there for 6 years. I studied in Australia as well for my college. And so I have different kinds of experience studying in different areas. But if you look at all the education system, regardless of whether is it in Malaysia, Australia and UK, it is all the same. If you look at how our society have progressed, like how we consume entertainment, how we watch YouTube, TikTok, how we buy things online, everything, every industry out there has some kind of progress that moved forward. Education is the only industry that still stays stagnant and didn't improve at all. Now you may say, okay, there are online classes now, right? Okay, yes, but it is only the form that changed. The core essence of it still stays stuck there. So I have very different ideology how education should be, how teaching should be, the kind of vision that I have to build that kind of ecosystem. So regardless of whether you're studying in BAR, in Malaysia, in UK, or what kind of subjects in Australia, US, Harvard, or whatever, to me, it's still same, It's same. It didn't change because it is that kind of industry, it still stays stagnant there. So I have a very different vision and dream. So I hope one day my dream is to build a university, a different kind of learning ecosystem that is totally different from what you see here. And that is why I keep doing what I do now. That is why I say I'm not a lawyer. So I want you all to treat me as a teacher, as your mentor, as your lecturer, as your senior, okay, as someone to give you some guidance. And I particularly like, for the next 10 months, you treat me as if like I'm your mentor or your senior, as if all of us now are working in a law firm and we are discussing on cases, we are discussing on what do you call that, issues, and I kind of give you suggestions, idea, what to do. Okay, so that is what I hope that we can move forward for the next 10, 11 months, something like that. Okay, now before we move on to some of the slides that I wanted to share with you today, there is one more thing I wanted to say. And I know if I say this, it will be, I know a lot will disagree with me. I know you may disagree with me. And I know a lot of lawyers will disagree with me. A lot of students will disagree with me. But I have to say it because I stick to what I believe in. I stick to my ideology, I stick to my philosophy, I stick to my vision. And I wanted to say this. CLP is not hard. CLP is doable. It's very doable. And I can tell you, I have sat for exams much harder than CLP. Now, why is it for past 30 and 40 years, everyone has been avoiding, everyone is saying CLP, and then we talk more about it. And why is it like this? And what can we do about it that is the much more important things? And that is what we will go through today. So, CLP is not hard. From my experience of teaching all the students for the past few years, the hardest thing to me is not about teaching. The most difficult thing for me is to get that belief system, is to change their belief system. Because they come in to the course with that perception that has been building on for the past 30 and 40 years that CLP is very hard. And regardless of how good the course, how good the notes, how much time you spend, that belief system will override them. So the first thing that we need to do, and the hardest thing for me, in my opinion, is to change your belief system. And today, I will share with you some stories as well of some of my past students, what they did. So you just have to chill and relax. We don't do anything today, just course induction. And after today, you will know what are the things that we're doing. Okay? And that belief system is very important. If you hold that belief system and keep holding it and saying it's difficult, it's hard, you will find it the next 10 months and 11 months a bit challenging for you. So I want to challenge you and I want to put it straight to you. And I know you may disagree with me and a lot of lawyers, a lot of students disagree with me, but I stick to what I believe in. CLP is not hard. Whatever you learn in CLP for the next 10, 11 months, students from MMU, students from local U, they all learn the same thing. It's just maybe they don't learn it in the final year, they spread it out. But I've seen exam papers from local U's and also MMU. It's the same. It's the same like the one that you said today. All the subjects that you learn in CLP, they learn as well. But there is one thing that is the main difference between you and them, that is what kind of the UOL, UKT student kind of find difficult. And we'll talk more about it. Okay? So that is all the thing. First, I want to talk about something about me. Okay? My ideas on different things, and I just want to put something out to challenge you and say that CLP is really not hard. It's very doable. And the most important thing to start with, it's your belief system. You know, when I sat for the exam, I had very good results since I was young. From primary to secondary to SPM to degree to college to law, my result is always the top. And is it because I'm smarter than anyone else? No. No. But it's something that I think I did much better than anyone else. It is that belief system. When I came in and sat for the CLP, everyone was saying CLP is hard, hard, hard. That's why I didn't enroll in any college, because I don't want to be stuck in that kind of environment. But when I sat for the CLP, the idea or thought that I will fail or it is hard never ever crossed my mind once. Not even once. So I know, no matter how much, I always have that kind of, how hard is it? Never mind, we sure have ways to solve it. You know, we definitely can find ways to solve it. And that's why after that I started teaching, because the kind of ideas I have, I just want to implement it and share it with you all. Okay, now let's start with some of the slides that I have with you all today. Let me see. All right. Wait a minute. Let me. Hold on a second. Let me just do some arrangement. Just give me. Give me 1 minute. Okay, give me 1 minute. All right. Give me 1 minute. All right, let's start. Right. I think you all know the website that you all have to access all the recordings, isn't it? CLPexam.com. We have shared the link with you, your login details. Everything is in one place now, so we'll talk more about it today as well. All right. Now, there are 3 things here that I wanted to do with you. And I wanted to make clear my aim and my goal with all of you in this batch for the next 10 or 11 months. Number 1, my goal is to assist you all, to guide you all to pass your exam with confidence. That is number 1 thing, isn't it? Your come into the course is to pass the exam so that you all can be a lawyer. Now, we want to pass with confidence, not just, crossing the borderline. At least you go into the exam hall. You know what to do. You go in there, you have practiced well, train well, you walk in there, heads up high, you know what to do. That is number 1 thing I want to do with you all. To guide, to assist you all to pass with confidence. Number 2, it's to build a kind of ecosystem with you all so that learning shouldn't stop. Now, if you think that after CLP, after you finish your law degree and chambering, you can stop reading, okay, stop learning. I'm sorry, it will never happen. Learning should continue until the day probably you die. Even I read every day. I read different kind of books every day. I read different cases every day because I have read a lot of law books. So in my free time, I read a lot of different kinds of different books like psychology, okay, self-learning, biography, history. It's just my hobby of reading. So I want to encourage you all to keep learning, all right? Keep learning, to build that ecosystem with you all, to encourage you all to have that kind of habit to keep learning even when you finish your law degree. And I always say this to the students. 10 years down the road, all of you in this batch, probably half of you wouldn't be in law profession or law career anymore, isn't it? Maybe you will do something else. And every batch of students, I tell them the same thing. I said, if you have something that you are passionate about, please go and do it. It doesn't have to be in law. I have friends or even students that, not in law, go and be something else. Be a yoga teacher, be a Pilates teacher, be a singer. Please go and do it. And I always say to them, I will always be the first one to support you. I will always be the one to encourage you to do whatever you need to do. You may say, Dennis, I don't know what's my passion. I don't know. Sometimes you may feel that I'm a little bit lost. I don't know what to do. It doesn't matter. You're still young, isn't it? Your passion, whatever you like to do, you won't know what you like to do just by sitting at home. Go out and learn new things, make new friends, try new things. Then you know what you like to do. If you tell me 10 years ago that I will end up teaching you all CLP, I wouldn't believe it. And you look what happened now. Okay, sometimes you wouldn't know what will happen. Okay, now the third thing I wanted to do with you all is to instill good values in you all. I'm not interested in just training, teaching just a student that only know how to memorize. But I wanted to instill good values in you all so that you all can be a good lawyer, a good person, and probably a good judge if you wanted to be a judge. Do you all know you all can be a judge? Me and you, we all can be a judge. We'll talk more about that, okay? You all can be a judge one day. You can be a good lawyer. You all can be also a police officer. I have friends that studied law and went on to do a police officer. If you go in and be a police officer now, your ranking will be inspector. Okay? Inspector. And we talk more. I'll share with you all a lot of different kind of story. So that is what I want to do with you all. You see, what we try to do in this course is to do these three things, to guide you enough to pass the exam. But at the same time, not just giving you the things that you need, but to tell you what is the correct and right way to do it. To instill that good values in you so that you can bring this value into your future career and life and relationship next time. Because one day, maybe you will be a master to someone else. One day, maybe you will teach someone else. One day, maybe you will do something else, and I want you to bring it on to do other things as well. I studied in Australia, and I studied in UK and Malaysia as well. Everywhere I go, regardless of what subject, where about, Malaysia students is always the top in the class. Always. When I was in Australia for my college, my friends, Malaysian students, top of, I think it was, because I was at Western Australia, he was like top 1% of the whole state. When it comes to like maths, calculus, when I was in Australia, the Hong Kong students and China students, they are always the top. When I was in UK, okay, I studied pharmacy, okay, top student is always Malaysia. We are never lack short of smart students, We always have good smart student that, memorize that. But we always short of something. We are short of students or people or person that are creative, innovative, and passionate about what they do. And that is why you always see the great creation and innovation come from the West and never come from the East. And if you wanted to be a lawyer is always your dream. And I hoped that you be a passionate lawyer about what you do. You want to be a criminal lawyer? Be passionate about it. Litigation lawyer? Be passionate about it. Civil lawyer? Please be passionate about it. And if you find your passion is not in there, then go and do something else. Go and find something else that you are passionate about and do it. Okay? So that is what we want to do with you all in this batch. These three things. Number one, to get you all to pass the exam. Number two, to build that learning ecosystem with you all. And number three, to instill good values in you. Now, the next 20 to 30 slides is to show you what are we doing in this course this year and how you need to prepare for it. Before you all enroll in this course, I think you all probably seen some of the things I talk on social media, and I said it again and again. This year, the course is very, very different. And when you all enroll as well, I also said it to you, and I say, this year, the course is very different. When I say different, it means real different, very, very different. Every batch of class that I taught, it gives me new idea. Like I said, my vision, my philosophy, my ideology, how we can make things better. And if you think that I'm the kind, just one thing, I don't like boring stuff. I don't like that kind of old school, old tradition, traditional way of reading from textbook, reading from notes kind of teaching, or the old school way of teaching. Sorry, that is not my style. If you are expecting that kind of way of learning, I have to say this course is not suitable for you. Okay? And I always say, find a course, find a place where you think you can learn. You think you feel enjoyable. That is the most important thing. Okay? Then we'll talk more about that. So, the old school way, definitely not my style. So today we will show you, and I'll show you, what are the things that we're doing differently. What are the things that you get? How do you need to prepare for the course? Okay? Now, this year, we are incorporating a lot more different things into the course itself. We wanted to make it much more challenging, interesting, and particularly joyful to learn. So this year, we are putting a lot of different things into the course. These are some of the things that we are incorporating in the course this year, and we will go through each one of them with you, how we are doing it. From the top left, you will see we have quiz, answer feedback, how we will give you the cases, how do you read the cases, how do we group the cases for you, what kind of notes you'll be getting. And I know students are always obsessed with notes, so we will spend some time to talk about what kind of notes you'll be getting. What did we do last year? What is it that we do differently this year? How are we doing your past year question tutorial? What kind of mindset mentality you need to set? Social media, you probably know. Are we doing different social media? Yes, and I'll talk about what are we doing differently on social media this year. What kind of support you get. The books, probably most of you have got your books. There are a few of you still haven't got your books yet because they enrolled quite a little bit late. And we'll try to get the books to them probably by early next week. How you're going to assess your class recordings. Internships, okay? We'll talk about this internship later on. And also something I call a personal performance diagnostic assessment. Okay, we'll talk every one of them. And you will know a good idea what are we doing, how these tools will assist and help you in your progress for the next 10 to 11 months, including, what you need to do. Okay, let's go in straight one by one. Now, the recordings. Most of you now will probably know how you want to assess the recording. In 2023, when we started teaching the course, we started with the most simple and basic way of doing it. We shared the notes on Google Drive, and we used Zoom recordings. When you enroll, I'm sure most of you, probably 90% of you, will assume that we are using Zoom. But when we finished the whole course in 2023, I don't like Zoom. There is a big problem with Zoom. The quality of the video recording is very low. If you look at what you're using now, Google Meet, the recording is set as 1080p. In Zoom recordings, all the recordings are at 720p. Unless you go up to the very big organization, they only offered you 1080p. I don't know if they changed it, but I cannot accept it. I just cannot accept it. We are living in an era where when you watch YouTube, Netflix at 4K, but when it comes to learning, you are watching 720p. The whole kind of experience is so poor. I just cannot accept it. So, in 2024, we throw away Zoom. No, I said no, we're not using Zoom anymore. So, we changed last year and we incorporate different things in there. We still use Google Drive to share all the notes with you all, but we host the video. We do live Google Meet, but we host it on a private YouTube private list. The reason why I use a YouTube private list last year we discussed and we wanted to use is I wanted to create an environment where it feels relaxed and joyful to learn. When I tell you, okay, you're going to watch your recording in Zoom, you kind of tense up, You kind of like, oh my God, I have so many things to watch. But if I tell you, okay, just go and watch your YouTube recording, you kind of feel that relax a little bit. So that was the kind of, and the moods, the tone that I wanted to set. We also incorporate Google Classroom exercise, where students submitted some of their written answer, and we give them feedback. We also use an app called a Miro app. A Miro app is a borderless canvas app to make mind map. But I also find after the course last year, there was a problem with this. There was problem with YouTube private listing. There was problem here. The main thing was, I find that students cannot juggle between them. They find it's as if they have to go in to do this here, they have to go in to do that here. It's like they have too many to cope. And end ups, I find that it's not that user friendly. So that's the reason why this year we're putting them all in one place. So this year, you will know your learning management system, isn't it? So all of you log in there, you will see your learning management system. Now, it may be a little bit slightly different compared to the one I show you in slide, but I'll show you, okay? I'll show you. You will probably now only see live classes, some of the syarat kemasukkan, okay, your live classes link, civil procedure statute for each one. But this is the interface that you see there. Everything is in one place now, okay? Everything is in one place. You will have your live classes, you will have your recordings, you will have your timetable, you will have your notes, your quiz, your answers submission. So there is no more going here for this thing, going there for that thing, everything in one place. So it's much easier for you all. So I want to show you the site, the portal from my side, which you don't see yet, but there's nothing in there. It's just I wanted to show you because we do live class, okay? We don't do recorded classes. So every live classes I do, only then we upload. Some of you ask me when we upload it. For example, today we finish class probably, let's say 11:30, something like that. Then we will immediately upload it. So normally by evening it will be uploaded, but sometimes it may be a little bit late because of the file size, things like that, you know, the connection. But for sure, it will be uploaded within 24 hours. I'm sure when we progress the course, you will have more than enough recording to watch. Okay, so if we finish 12:30 today, by 12:30 tomorrow, definitely for sure it will be up on the learning management system, and you can access them. But I normally by evening 6 or 7 p.m. it will be up there already lah. Okay, yeah, up there. Now I wanted to show you the one from my site. Okay, the one from my site. Right, this is the one from my site. If you see here, all right, you will have this one. You probably have all these things. Now, you probably don't see this one, okay? Now, actually, there's nothing in here. It's just that I set it just for my own guidance, probably the amount of classes we have conducted, and I'll talk more about that as well. And there's nothing in there. Okay, so far there's nothing in there because we don't have any recording first. Once we've done the recording and we'll upload it. So roughly, you will see there are about 38 classes for civil procedure. That would include all your recording plus quizzes. You see quiz there, okay? And you see tutorials, which is your past year question. So this is all your past year question. All right, you see that? 2018, 2019, 2020, and also probably some of the assignments that actually it's not 2014, 2024. Okay, assignment I want you all to submit, which is some of the written answer of your past year questions so that we can give you a feedback. So total everything include quizzes, assignment. Quizzes are self-test quiz. So you just go in and test yourself like an MCQ quiz. Okay, so you know where you stand on this understanding of the subject. So you have roughly about 38 for civil. In professional practice, you have 45. Why? Because in professional practice, you have 4 subjects in there. And we'll talk more about it on Wednesday when we start. So today, we are not going into each one of them. We are just in very general how you wanted to assess everything. So tomorrow, we'll dive straight into civil procedure and you will talk more about all these things. On Wednesday, professional practice. On Thursday, we'll talk about general paper. You have 32. And then I think sometime in November or December, we'll start criminal procedure and evidence, roughly about that. Okay, so that is roughly the amount of classes, including assignments. And if you see here, and I said to you, this year, we are separating all the classes into a level 1, level 2, and level 3 class. Level 3 is a tutorial where we actually put them everything in, to apply our knowledge and skills into it is to answer the past year question. Level 1 is the basic building block. I didn't do this last year or the last 2 years. If you watch what I talked to you today, and you go back to my YouTube channel and you watch the orientation that I did with the student last year, you will see it's a totally different thing that I talk about. Even the setting, everything is different. So you see the kind of things we're doing differently. This year, I wanted to separate into level 1, level 2, and level 3 class because I find after teaching the students, sometimes they wouldn't be able to apply them all together. Where do I get this idea from? Recently, I was playing tennis. Okay, I play a lot of kind of sports. I run, I hike, I used to play golf, I swim, I go gym, everything. I do a lot of sports. Recently, I was learning to play tennis. And the coach, then we learned with few of my friends. And he taught us, okay, this is how you hold your racket, things like that. And it gives me idea. Maybe I should do that with you as well. We start with the basic one, level 1. Then we move into level 2. Now, you don't have to worry about how many level 1s or class we have or level 2. It doesn't matter. That is not of your concern. I will tell you what you need to focus on. But what I just want to inform you, let you know, we will start with level 1, basic first. What we will do in level 1 is the most basic thing. We will read the statute together because I find students don't know how to read statute. All of you will have gotten statute sent from us. Now, in exam, you are provided with these statutes. You cannot bring this statute into exam. You will go into the exam hall. They will give you a brand new statute, look like this. You see that? Legal Profession Qualifying Boards. All right, same thing. This is your Legal Profession Act. Now, Specific Relief Act, you don't have this one because it's not common you use that. Civil Law Act. Okay, all these things will be provided to you in your exam. So, you have to be good friend with them because they are your guidance. So what I want to train you all is to train you all to learn how to read your statute, because when you are a lawyer, you may be involved in a different kind of case. For example, what kind of case? You may be involved in a construction claim or defamation or insurance. And you have to go and familiarize yourself with that kind of law, and then you have to read the statute. And if you don't know how to read a statute, how would you analyze that kind of law? So reading statute, I know as a LLB students, we don't really read much statute. Now that is the issue number 1 there. Okay? That is the issue number 1. Issue number 1, which is what I want to say here is, just now I said it to you, never ever use the way you study LLB or juris to come in and study CLP. It will never work. Okay? It will never work. Sorry. Okay, never ever use the way you study LLB to come in and study CLP. It will never work. The way we study LLB, it's much more to a big picture overview, right? But in CLP, it doesn't work. In LLB, if you think we may, the last 3 to 4 months take out some kind of answer booklet, sample answer, you still may manage it. CLP, no. This week, we start work. There is no grace period. There is no honeymoon period. There is no chill period. The only chill period you have is today. Tomorrow, we start work. You must start your work this week. I know some of you may still have 2 more papers to sit in October. So you said you want to start in November. Can? You just need to do a little bit catch up. Okay? No problem. Can? You get to catch up. But the number 1 thing, like I said just now, why CLP always say CLP is hard is because the UOL or UKT students, we learn in a particular way for the past 3 years. The kind of UK style of way. And when you come into CLP and you bring that kind of style of learning to come and learn CLP, it will never work and you will fail. You will find it very difficult and we have to change it. CLP is a very technical paper. You have to make sure you understand every single thing. If let's say there are 10 things if you don't know, you don't understand number 1 and number 2, and you say, never mind, I'll leave it first and go to number 3, number 4, cannot. You must make sure number 1, number 2, until number 10, you understand, you know all of them, then only you can have a complete answer. If you only understand number 1, 5, and 7, 2, 4, 6, you don't understand, your answer is gone. So you must make sure you go through every single thing. Okay? So CLP is a very technical paper because that's where you have to read statute, rules of court, your criminal procedure, cases. We don't really read much of statute and cases when we are in LLB. This year you will have to. Okay, then I'll tell you what is it you have to do and why are we doing it. Okay, so you don't have to worry about the level 1, level 2. If you look at your learning portal system, you will see timetable there as well. All right. Our timetable is simple. We only have 4 classes per week. We don't need so many classes. I know some colleges have full class morning, afternoon. No, we do not need. Your real learning doesn't come from you sitting in the class listening to me. Your real learning comes when you go away on your own, make your own notes or read your case. That's where your learning comes, and that's where you have issue, then we discuss. Okay? I mean, it's a simple analogy, isn't it? You watch all those Kung Fu drama movies, right? The Shaolin movies, you know, they always learn their Kung Fu in the Shaolin. Then the master will say, it's time for you to go out and explore, like the Kung Fu Panda. That's where they start to learn. It's not staying in that Shaolin temple. Okay? So if you have class every day, it's like as if you're staying in a Shaolin temple. That's not where you learn. Your learning comes when you go out from the temple, the Shaolin temple, and then you go down and you start to explore. That's where you learn. Okay? So that's why we only have 4 classes per week. Monday morning, 9:30 to 12:30. The recording will be uploaded in the same day. And I always say it to every batch of the students. You don't have to force yourself to come into live class. It doesn't matter. Even there is no one there, I still talk as usual. I still teach and I still record it. Because I was a student myself. What's the point if you know you are not a morning person and you need to force yourself to come in and sit at 9:30 to 12:30, 3 hours, and then you find that your concentration is only at 50%. Then you have to re-watch the recording again. To me, it's double work. Maybe you say that, Dennis, I like to watch recording at night, 10 p.m. when no one is disturbing me. Fine, go and do it. Why force yourself to come into live class? That's the beauty of recording class. I find that university or even colleges anyway, they are not fully maximizing the recording. But what if you have any issues and questions you don't understand? Then you send me a WhatsApp. And I said it again to all students. You send me a WhatsApp, normally I'll reply you within 24 hours. Okay, most of the time I'll reply you within 24 hours. I may not reply you straight away because I'm busy, but I'll definitely reply you in 24 hours. And whenever I reply you, most of the time I'll use a voice note. And I'll say, this is like this. So it's because it's faster for me to explain rather than me to type it out. Okay, so that's how it works. You don't have to force yourself to come into live classes. You can watch the recording anytime you like, but then we need a timetable for you, which I'll talk about it. And any questions, then we can go through it with me. Okay, so we talk about live classes already. So this one, we have level 1, level 2, and level 3 classifications. Level 1, we will go through read statute. So tomorrow, when we start civil procedure, I will use the first hour to do an orientation, a big overview of the civil procedure with you. Then the remaining 1.5 to 2 hours, we will start to read the statute together. So that's why I've given you your statutes. I also given you an e-copy of the statute, which is in the learning portal. You can download it into your iPads. Like for me, I use GoodNotes. Okay, you can draw it out. If you wanted to use a pencil, whatever, to draw on the statute currently you have, can. Because you cannot bring that statute into the hall. They will provide you with a brand new statute. You want to highlight it up to you. Because I want to teach you all the visualization technique. If you know CLP is bulky already, you still use the old way of memorizing, to me, is insane. Insanity. Our brain is that big. How can we force ourselves to memorize so many things? When I was a student, okay, when I was studying in the UK, and you will hear all my Malaysian friends say, oh my God, I need to memorize this chemical structure. I never ever heard my British friend, which I still have good, still keep in touch with all of them. I have a lot of British friends. I never ever hear them once saying they have to memorize. Never. It's only always the Asian students. So that is why I said, when it comes to smart memorizing, Asian students always the top. But when it comes to creativity, innovative, we are always lacking behind. So I want to teach you all the visualization technique to read the statute together. Because once you flip open, for example, section 35 or 36, from there, you will be able to visualize what kind of cases you can anticipate in there, what kind of issue in there. Because this is provided in exam. This has to be your best friend. Visualization technique is the way we move forward. The picture, to picture yourself. So every subject you see, I will do a big overview with you to give you a whole idea how it works, so that you know, oh, civil is like that, land is like that, contract is like that. Okay, that's why if you look at every subject, we will start off with level 1. I think we will have probably 3 to 4 or 5 lah. I think 3 to 4, something like that. 4 class average. 4 class of level 1 class in each subject, where we will just go through the statute, read them together. When we move into level 2, we will dive in deeper. We will still come back to the topic again, but now we go in deeper. You will have notes, you will have cases, and sometimes I will read the case with you. For example, in contract, I want to read one of the case with you, because I also find students lack the skill of reading cases. Okay, and I'll talk more about that also when we down to the case. So this year we have level 1, level 2 classification, level 3. And you will see that all the notes, article links that I want you to read, a podcast link. If you all don't know, I'm assuming you all know, I have a podcast on Spotify called CLP Classroom. Okay, and sometimes I will attach the link where I make short podcast audio form, so that you can listen to it, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Okay, and we talk later on as well on the social media. Cases. So everything is in your learning management system. You don't have to go through Google Drive. There's no more Google Drive. Okay, unless maybe I find that it is not that reliable, then maybe we use Google Drive. But right now, that is what we use. All right. Then for each class this year, each class, not for today, tomorrow, we will have a full transcript of what I've said. So after the class, there will be a PDF transcript of whatever I've talked. Maybe you find that my tone and voice is not that clear. Okay, maybe you want to refer to that transcript in that particular minute number 17.32 seconds. What did I say? How did I explain on that case? So every class, we will have a full transcript, written transcript in PDF form that will be uploaded together into your learning management system. That is something that we didn't do at all last 2 years. I think with the advancement of technology now with AI, we can do that. Okay, so we have full transcript for each class for you. So I've showed you some of the level 1, level 2, and level 3. So you know that, okay? So it doesn't matter for your psych. It's just for us to guide you all step by step on how to learn it. Now, the second thing is, this year we are adding on quiz and answer feedback into your learning management system. The quiz is a self-test quiz. So it's like MCQ. Because I wanted to mix up your learning, not just in one-sided, one way of learning. And I'll share a story with you about this. So you have right answer that is written. You have you have answer that is written. You have MCQ questions. Okay, you have MCQ question to test yourself, so that we have different kind of learning materials to challenge, to trigger, to make it interesting and enjoyable. Now, with regard to answer feedback, that is where we actually look at your written past year question and give you some feedback to it. And you will submit it on the system as well, and it's everything in there. This year, we wanted to do it twice a year. I wanted to do it once sometime in April and once sometime in June. So in April, we will ask you to submit probably Civil Procedure Main 2019 paper. So you answer 7 questions, you submit it. So you submit Civil, Criminal, Evidence, PP, and General paper, 5 paper. and submit one more time in June. Why do I wanted to do it this way? Because I wanted you to submit once in April is early on when you just started your past year question. I wanted you to write so that at least you know where did I do wrong, where can I improve. Because I don't like you to submit late on in July, then I tell you it shouldn't be like this and your exam is in 2 weeks' time. Then what's the point? So I wanted to do 2 times. Once in April and once sometime in June when we are almost finishing our class. And something I wanted to say is this year, I'm sorry, I have to be strict with you all. I will set a deadline for when you all need to submit this feedback answer. It's not, there are a few reasons. Number one, I need time to look at it. It's not that sometimes for one paper, I even took up probably an hour of my time just to look at the paper. What is it that went wrong, things like that. So with so many students there, and then sometimes we have full course and revision course. Last year, full course and revision course, we had almost about 100 students. So it took up a lot of my time. So I have to be a little bit strict. And I also don't, sometimes even last year, students, few days before our exam, come to me and say, Dennis, can you check for me? Honestly, I actually give them a cut-off time already, but I just cannot turn them down. I just like, they really wanted to study and I wanted to assist, so I said, okay, I'll help you, but I will try my best because I cannot guarantee I can give you the feedback on time. I need time to look at it. And also, I don't want you to submit too late. Like I say, your exam sometimes is in July, August, okay? And you submit to me, send it to me like 1-2 weeks before. And I don't want to change too much at that particular time and affect your confidence. So that's why I wanted to do early on, April, when you just start, then you know, aha, I shouldn't do like this, I shouldn't do like that. Then you have an idea. Then in June, we do again. Then your exam most likely sometime in July or August time. Okay, so that is part of the things that we're doing. Last year, we didn't do any quiz. No, we didn't do any quiz. And also the answer submission we did, but we did it to Google Classroom. But this year, I wanted to put it all in one place and I wanted to separate into 2 times. Now, books. I don't think I need to spend much time to talk about it. I have books, but it's right in front of me, but I cannot reach it. All right. All of you have books. I've shared it. This year, we are supplying different books. You have 5 big study manuals. These are very, very, very good books. Last year, the year previously, and I use BSc study manuals for the students. Honestly, they are not my favorite. Because I don't like the arrangement. Now, if you wanted to get more books, you can. I will post a social media post probably by end of this week or next week to share with you some other textbook that I use for reference. I actually have all of them. If you go to my house, you see I have a section with all the books. I like to buy books. There's one thing that when I buy, I don't look at the price. Books. 300, 500, 700. If I think it's a good book, I'll buy it. Okay? So I have all kind of books for reference so that I can improve myself and I can improve you all. Okay? So this year we supply the Janap student. These are really good books, the textbook. Now, when should you use it? Later, we'll talk about it. You will see these books in law firm as well. So keep them. It can be a reference book to you even when you're a lawyer. A lot of lawyers use them. These books are for your Janap legal series are written by the Court of Appeal judge. And I keep buying books from him. I think he know me now. He know who is Dennis right now because I keep buying. I say I have to supply for my students. Can I have 5 copies, 6 copies, 10 copies? And he will know. He knew me by now. Who's Dennis? Because I've been. This Janap legal series, ATC use it as well for their civil procedure, if I'm not wrong. MMU use it as well for. I'm not too sure what they use. I think they use civil as well. There's a book called Conveyancing, which you all didn't learn in CLP. They learn it in MMU, they use it as well. UUM, University Utara Malaysia, law degree, they all use this Janap Legal series as well. So they are really good books. You need to you keep them. Okay, please keep them. Make full use of them. They are really good books for you to refer to. So I don't have to show you. You all got it already. And one thing I like about it is that hardcover. If you see your civil procedure one is soft cover. My civil procedure one is hardcover. The reason is because they reprinted it. So the publisher said that the cost is too high. They cannot get someone to do the hardcover anymore. But honestly, I love the hardcover. I have a contract book at home by CLJ, soft cover. My God. I probably only flip it not more than 30 times. Started to crack already because the printing is not that good. Right, now probably the most interested part you have is the kind of notes you'll be getting. All right. I know every year student like to ask me this question. If you ask me personally, I really don't like to talk much about notes because students sometimes overly rely on notes. That is what always the examiners say every year. As if they recopy whatever in the notes into the question. They don't really understand. They cannot analyze. They cannot think on their own. But I also understand where students come from because I was a student myself. So I try to strike a balance between them. Like I said in the first slide, to assist you all to pass the exam, at the same time to build a learning ecosystem and instill good values. So I'll show you what kind of notes that you'll be getting this year. Before that, last year in 2023 and 2024, all the notes were shared on Google Drive with students. We shared the notes with them based on the date we conduct the class. For example, on the 10th of September, we conduct a class on topic on, let's say, limitation and court jurisdiction. Then we have one notes in there. So the notes are arranged based on the date we conduct class. But I find there was the more I teach when I talk to the students, I find that the notes, the way they arrange the notes, it's very different. So this year, I wanted to teach you all much more on organization skills. How do you want to organize your note? How do you group your notes? So this is what we'll talk about in the next few slides. And to me, it's very important because why? If you know CLP, you have 5 subjects, 5 papers, but technically speaking, you have 9 subjects. In professional practice, you have 4. In general paper, you have 2. How do you want to organize your notes? Where do you start? A lot of students think that organization skills start from how you tidy your notes, isn't it? No. Organization skills doesn't start from there. Organization skills starts from here. Your first point in time, here. What is the first thing that you think about? Now, let me give you a simple analogy. If today you wanted to drive to KLCC, okay? You would think, the first thing you would think about is when you come out from your house, you do a left turn or your right turn. At the traffic light, you go straight or you do a U-turn. You wouldn't think so far ahead about what's beside KLCC. So your organization skills start from here, your first point in time, your first contact in time. So this year, I wanted to show you how you need to arrange your notes. So last 2 years when we teach, this is how we shared. And the notes that we shared with students last 2 years is on a handwritten format. The idea at that particular time was this. We want the students to work together with us so that we would teach them, show them the big overview of everything, and we will provide them with materials, and we want them to make their own notes. Because your own notes is the best. I mean, if you want to buy notes from someone else, feel free to do so. But then it's not your own notes. It's not something that you make you understand. When you buy from someone else, they make it. Why do they write it there? You don't know. You just blindly take it as it is. So at that particular time, when we teach for the last few years, we go handwritten notes and we give them, and then we ask them, this is how you want to make your notes. So we guide them along. But this year we're changing it because like I said, every year, it gives me a different idea. I want to tell you a story. The CLP exam just finished a month ago. Just a month, 4 weeks ago. Okay. I teach full course and I also teach revision course that starts in February. The past revision batch, I have a student. She came and joined revision because I think this year was the last attempt or the third or fourth attempt she had already. For the past few attempts, she failed. So she wanted to come and join revision course. Few weeks before the exam, and she talked to me and she said she's stressful, things like that. So I asked her to show me her notes. So she showed me her notes. I look at the notes she had. The first thing I think about is, oh my God, how would you be able to understand your own notes? What happened with her notes is this. For example, one chapter, let's say bail chapter in criminal. In bail chapter itself, she probably has 20 to 30 charts. Arrow, 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 arrow. And how she studied for it? When it comes to bail chapter, she has 20 to 30 charts. She'll memorize that 20 to 30 charts. When she go into the exam hall, she recognizes this is a bail chapter. Now, what would a student do? The brain would run through an analysis program. The brain will start to analyze and run through that 20 to 30 charts that she has memorized from number 1 to number 30 and see which charts it's the answer to fit into the question. Do you see the problem in this way? How much can we memorize? If one chapter has 30 charts, one subject has 10 chapters, you have 300 charts to memorize. 5 subjects, 600 charts. 300 charts. 6,000 charts. How much can you memorize in that particular way? And there's also one problem with this way of learning. Our brain learns in a linear way, one way. Go straight. So when she go into the exam hall, she read the bail chapter. She remembered 30 charts. She has to start to run through chart number 1, chart number 2, chart number 3, cannot chart number 4, cannot chart number 5, chart number 17. Okay, this is the answer. So if I ask what is chart number 23, she's stuck there. Because the way the brain learns is from number 1 to number 30. If I start to jump around, stuck there. That is the problem. So then I said, no, that is not how you should learn. That is why I said you feel stressful. Cannot. This kind of way of learning, you're stuck there. If you know CLP is that like this, and you still go with the old school, old way of learning, you will find it very stressful. That's why we need to use visualization technique this year. So this year, we're changing the notes. Okay? Now, of course, last year also, we give cases, okay? We'll give the particular cases to you all, and we want you to read it, and we will tell you which particular paragraph you need to read. So we need to train 2 things. Number 1 is your ability to read statute. Number 2 is your ability to read cases. Okay, so that is what we did past year. So what are we doing this year? This year, we're doing a little bit different. Okay? Now, when we start each subject, for example, civil tomorrow, PP on Wednesday, GP, then criminal evidence sometime in November. In the first set of notes, we will tell you each chapter number. Very important. So now I will label each chapter number for you, together with the chapter name, and tell you together how many sets of notes we'll be giving you. Now, I know, because if you follow your particular textbook, they group it in a particular way. If you follow a particular study manual from the college, they group it in a particular way. Everyone has a different way of grouping it. Even if you look at your CLP subject guide, they group it in a different way. Now, I want you to leave that all out. Just follow what I give you on the first class of each subject. So, for example, you see criminal procedure here. Overview, you will have 1 set of notes. Chapter number 1, courts and jurisdiction, you have 1 set of notes. So in your iPad, in your laptop, desktop, At the end of the course, at the end after we finish this subject, if I said you have 15 sets of notes, and then you will have 15 sets of notes. So you group your notes based on the chapter. You don't group it based on date. You don't group it based on lecture. No more. I don't want you to do that. So now we are clear, okay? You group your notes based on the chapter and chapter number. Now, why do I put a chapter number? I'll talk about it later on. So you have a chapter number, for example, you see here. Chapter number 8 is initiation of proceeding, and you have one set of notes. Why do I want to group it this way? Because sometimes we may need 2 classes to finish one chapter. Sometimes one class we can finish 2 different chapters. So how do you want to group it? You group it on date? You group it based on class? How do you want to do it? So you don't care about that. You forget about date, forget about class, forget about level 1, level 2, doesn't matter. You group your notes based on what I give you on a chapter overview. So on the first class of every subject, we will give you something like this. So tomorrow, you will see that with civil procedure. So now, that is the first point in time, the first contact. You have a clear layout of the number of sets of notes with chapter number. Second, your notes this year will be typed out notes. No more handwritten notes. Because of my past experience, things like that, I said no more. I will give you a typed out notes. Okay? So, for example, just now we said you have one set. Okay, for example, let's say bail, chapter 12, one set. Then you will have one set of chapter typed up notes. Now, how will your notes be look like? If you look at what I share here, chapter 2 arrest, this is a very typical kind of notes. For example, you start with, there are 3 modes by which a person may be arrested, comprising of actually touching and confining the person sought to be arrested. Is this the kind of notes you'll be getting? No. Because I said it, I don't like boring stuff. I don't like that kind of old school, old-fashioned, traditional way of doing things. What's the point of me giving you a summary set of notes where this kind of notes, you get it from your textbook, you get it from any books out there? What's the difference? If I wanted to give you something, I wanted to make sure the thing that I give you can add on value, can assist you. If I structure that notes in this particular kind of way again, then to me, what's the difference of you reading a textbook? So no, yes, we are giving you typed up notes, but not in this kind of format. So you see that this is a typical kind of notes, isn't it? The Privy Council in the appeal case of Shaban also had occasion, consider. It's exactly the same kind of notes you get from your study manual, from your statute. Your notes this year, I arrange it in a different kind of wording. What kind of wording? I arrange it in a kind I call a tabloid journalism. You know tabloid? Tabloid. When I was in the UK, I worked in a pharmacy. I was a pharmacy manager. If you all study in the UK, you know Boots, right? I used to work in Boots. Whenever there's a free time, I go and read the magazine and newspaper. In UK, there are many different kinds of newspaper. You have Financial Times, you have The Sun, you have The Guardian, you have Daily Mail. There are particular newspaper in the UK. We call it a tabloid newspaper, Tabloid. And there's a particular style of way they write that newspaper. And we name it tabloid journalism. When you look at tabloid journalism, they always start with very catchy headings. And they like to capture your attention. I think, why not let's make the notes in this particular way? Why can't we put a little bit of creativity and innovative in the notes that you'll be getting? So this year, all your notes, you'll be getting a typed up notes, and it will be structured in a tabloid journalism way. For example, like this. You see, just now, previously, you see, how is arrest made? It's so boring. I don't like boring stuff. Can we make it a little bit interesting? What really counts an arrest? When can you say someone being arrested? Then you talk about what doesn't count. Okay, put it simply, what is it? The English angle. Arrest isn't always the Hollywood scene of a policeman shouting and slapping on cuffs. The law says it's about compulsion. So we tried to arrange in a tabloid way of journalism to make it much more interesting, so that when you learn, it's joyful, it's enjoyable, and when you read it. So that is why I said we are not short of people that are good at memorizing, but we need more people that is creative, innovative, that passionate. So I wanted to put a little bit of creativity in there. And where did I get the idea from? It's from that tabloid journalism. Because nowadays, we consume so much content on TikTok, on Instagram Reels, on Xiaohongshu things, and the way we learn has changed. So when it comes to education and teaching, it has to change as well. That's why I said I have different kind of ideology and vision on how education should be. So your notes this year will be something like this. So first class, you have a clear cut what chapter number, how many sets of notes for that chapter, and your notes will be tied up, it will be structured in a tabloid. Now, we will try to do that with probably criminal, civil, land, and evidence. For general paper, not so much. General paper, when I was writing it, I kind of feel that it doesn't suit that much of tabloid journalism, but we'll see how it works. Okay, we'll see how it works. So this is the kind of notes you'll be getting. Next, in every chapter when we start, for example, we talk about big overview already. We talk about the notes you're getting. In every chapter, the first page of the notes, you will have a list of summary questions. Okay? This summary question is very important. It is important because it will be very useful to you when it comes to revision time, sometime in May and June next year. It is as if to tell you these are the things that you will need to know about this chapter. These are the things that probably you'll be get tested. For example, arrest. You will need to know, does Malaysia recognize constructive arrest? The answer is no. What case in there? So you have a summary list of questions. It's like, okay, this is my objective. After studying for this chapter, I need to make sure that I understand and I can answer all these 10 or 11 or 20 summary questions. So it will come useful when it comes to your revision time. Now, what about case? On the first page of every notes chapter, we will also give you a case summary table. If you look at the case summary table here, first, you have a quote. Second, you have the name of the case. Third, you have facts. And fourth, you have section to read. If you look at last 2 years, what we did, we would just give the case and tell them you read particular paragraph 15 to 27. This year, I wanted to put a little bit more. Now, number one, you have the name of the case. Number two, do I need to know the facts of the case? What is the facts? What happened between party A and party B? Party A go and kill this accused, go and kill this guy, go and rape this guy, this accused go and take the land of this guy, this person go and cheat the money. Do you need to know the facts? Because not every case we need to know the facts. Some, yes, because if you know the facts, only then you can explain. Some, no need. So we'll be particularly specific to you and tell you, okay, this case, you need to know the facts or you do not need to know the facts. We will also tell you the particular section you need to read. Is it the full case you need to read? Or just paragraph 23 to 28? So as specific as possible. Now you see that there are different colors in there. Red, yellow, and green. Red means landmark case that you must know. Yellow, okay, less important. Green, okay, if you have time, you go and read it. So, first page of each chapter, you will have these summary questions and case summary. So you have a big overview. Okay, you already know, in this chapter of arrest, I have 10 cases. 5 or 6 of them are landmark that I need to know. Do I need to know the facts? Do I need to know the section? Which section do I need to read? Then you look at the quote. I give a quote to every case. That quote will particularly relate to the chapter that it is in. That is why just now, if you look at here, where's the... If you look at here, we give a chapter number to them. If you see arrest is chapter number 2. Okay, so if I give you a case here today, every case, all right, we will label them clearly with a code. So you see, this, for example, Shaban, CR 2.1. What does CR 2.1 means? There will be a CR means criminal. So we will give a code to every subject. CR2 means criminal chapter number 2. And which under arrest, okay, now you know under arrest, this case Shaban is under criminal chapter number 2 arrest. Where about in arrest? 2.1. So if I give you the code name CR 2.1, then you know this case is with regard to criminal, is regard to chapter number 2 arrest, and particular relate to subtopic 2.1 in arrest. So for example, you see Noor Ismail Abu Bakar. Okay, here CR 2.5.2, meaning CR criminal. 2 means chapter number 2, that is arrest. 2.5. So you go into the subtopic 2.5.2. This case is with regard to the issue there. Every case that we give you, we'll label that, because when I see the way the students arrange the organization, it's a mess. So this year I want to teach you more on how organization, I want to guide you, this is it. So now you have clear cut. You know how many sets of notes you'll be getting beforehand. You know in each chapter what are the case, where you need to read, is it landmark, is it not landmark, what are the summary questions. And now even let's say you downloaded a case, with that one, you don't know, is it civil case? Is it land case? With the code there, then you will know what case is it? What subject is it? Where do I get this idea from? Okay, let me tell you a bit of story. When I was studying in the UK, I worked part-time. I worked a lot of part-time, last time. I used to work delivery driver, send Chinese takeaway, I work in pharmacy. I work in Royal Mail. You know Royal Mail in the UK, Royal Mail, that is our post office like as if our post laju. During Christmas time, sometime November, they will have this part-time job. So what we'll do is we'll go to Job Street. Is it? No, not Job Street. I cannot remember what's the name to register. And the work starts Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. So after class, we'll go and take bus and we'll go to the Royal Mail Center. In the Royal Mail Center, what we do is we'll sit in front of, there's a big center, a lot of computers in there. So we'll sit there and we'll sit in front of a computer. What happened was, in their warehouse, they have a big machine. The big machine has a scanner. Every letter or postcard comes in, they will capture the address, capture the picture. That picture will directly be sent to our in front of computer. So what we'll do is, we will have to read the postcode of that letter and press relevant key, F1, F2, F3, F12. So it's funny because sometimes during Christmas, you see kids writing postcard to Santa Claus and we read that kind of postcard. In Malaysia, for example, Batu Pahat, my hometown, my postcode is 83000. If today, right, you buy something from Shopee, you just write 83000, they only know you stay in Batu Pahat, probably Bandar Pengaram Center. But where to send to? You don't know. In UK, their postcode is different. UK, I remember my postcode at that time is SR13SQ. SR means the city, Sunderland. 1, where about in the city? 3SQ, with that postcode itself, SR13SQ, without any address, without any house number, they can already zoom into the particular city and road. So that parcel, that thing is to this road within this 10 to 20 house already. They won't run too far away. But we don't do that here. So that's why I wanted to group it like this. So CR 2.5.2, it means that criminal chapter number 2 and particular 2.5 and subtopic 2.5.2. Then you know this case of Noor Ismail Abu Bakar is related to that sub-particular topic. So you know everything is organized in there. I want it to be as organized as possible. Next, we will still give you the case, but in front of the case, I will give you a summary. Now, actually, I don't really like giving you this because I know for sure students will just read the summary without reading the case. We already give you the table. We will tell you, okay, for example, Noor Ismail Abu Bakar, you have to read paragraph number 15 to 20. And I know if I give you the summary, for sure, you will just read the summary. But I still hope I can instill good values in you all. Please, if you can, not please, if you can, please read the case. I already tell you, is it landmark, not landmark? Okay, we already tell you what particular chapter, paragraph you need to read. Then on top of the case, we'll attach a summary. Then this is just a assistance to you. The summary that we give you here is not the summary of the whole case. The summary that we give you here, for example, here this summary, is specific to the particular paragraph that we want to read, you to read. For example, Noor Ismail Abu Bakar. Let's say we want you to read paragraph 15 to 20. Then this summary will be just on paragraph 15 to 20. If that particular case, we say you need to know the facts and also you need to know paragraph 1 to 22. Then the summary will be on the facts, including the paragraph 1 to 22, as specific as possible for all of you. Okay? I hope you can see the difference. That I say that's the reason why I say this year the course is very, very different. And you see, so now you have an idea what kind of things you'll be getting. Now we are not done yet, so it's almost 11 p.m. but sorry a.m. but we still have a lot of things to go. Past year question. We'll be doing 14 sets of past year question, starting from 2018 to 2025. All will be uploaded the questions on your learning system. I don't suggest student doing something too old. For example, if you sit for exam in 2025, I try not to, I mean, you can self-practice, but try not to do questions that is before 2015, like more than 10 years ago. Because you will see the particular style is different. The examiner is different. The way they set the question is different. The law may have changed. And I particularly find that ATC students, because sometimes I do get revision. I have revision course, and sometimes I do in revision course, sometimes they have BAC student and AT student come and join. They are first timer, means they join the full course in the college and come and I particularly find ATC students tend to do that a lot. I'm not sure, is it because the way they teach or whatever, the way they conduct, they always do very old questions. Sometimes the question they ask me is like 2007. No, don't do too old question. The style, the format, everything is different. So we will do 14 sets of past year question. Okay, 14 sets of past year question, more than enough. My suggestion is, also LPQB suggestion is, you must do at least 10 sets. 10 sets is roughly about 5 years. So 14 sets is roughly about 7 to 8 years, because in COVID time, they kind of combine a few years together. 14 sets, and if you 5 subjects, meaning we will be doing 70 sets of past year question. Okay, so now you have already got an idea already. How many set of notes you got? I'll show you also later. And how many sets of past year question tutorial you will get. When we start doing past year question, in the beginning, we will give you a full answer. We'll write in full. As we progress along, then we go in point form, because I want you to write on your own. You need to write on your own. You need to be able to articulate. But we will start slow first in full answer, then slowly, then we go to point form. And by that time, I'm sure you know what to answer already. Okay? Now, a little bit more. This year, I actually encourage full course students. If you are not working, if you are not matured student, if you don't have family, to do some kind of internships. And actually I've spoken to a few students, but I actually haven't talked much about this. My plan, our plan this year, is to assist the full course students, if they choose to get some kind of short internship with whatever law firm that is near their house for 2 to 3 months. The reason why I want them to go to internship is not that, don't expect to learn CLP things in internship. But what I want them to learn is to sit there, call the land office. How does a statement of claim looks like? How do you bill a client? How do you talk to your customer? How do you talk to your master? All the different kind of set of skills that you cannot learn in school. Communication skill, particularly important. For your UOL, UKT, you don't have any communication skill module. I think in bar they have, but the kind of communication skill in bar is much more about advocacy communication. But I want you to learn, talk to people, convey your message. How do you convey public speaking? Now, I have a lot of lawyer friends. I also met a lot of great lawyers and great judges. And I can tell you this, a lot of them in the court, when they are doing litigation, so good. They are so good. Wait a minute. Okay? They're so good. But when it comes to person and person communication, they're very poor. They cannot even, that is why always you see in law firm, the turnover rate is very high. The bureaucracy, the office politics, the kind of environment you work is not healthy. Maybe one day you will have your own law firm. And I want you to learn how to talk to your clients, how to talk to your staff, you know. Recently I was chatting with one of my friends, and she's a lawyer. Okay, she has a law firm. And the law firm has chambering students. So she said that this chambering student used to work as an internship. They like her a lot, so they offered her a chamber. So that's one of the reasons I want you all to try to get some internship. And so I asked her, how was the chambering student? And she started to shake her head. And I said, why? What happened? I said, she's easily emotional. I said, what emotional? She called the land office. And the land office, the guy sort of like raised the voice a little bit. And she started crying, the chambering student. I was like, oh, wow, what happened? You know, I want you all to go and try how to call the land office. I tell you, when you are a junior lawyer, or particularly they are not bullied, but you will encounter this kind of thing. Even when I was working in the government, I go to the court a lot, you see even the clerk sort of, not bully, but they will use some kind of tone to talk to you. So what we try to do this year is, probably next week, I'll come and speak to the full course student, and we can discuss whether you want some kind of internship or not. You can choose you want or you don't want. If you do want, then I want you to prepare your CV. Then maybe we will try to assist you to get some kind around the place you want to go. Then we will sort of like maybe talk to them first, call the law firm first. If they're okay, they are okay with accepting internship, then we will refer you and then you go. Okay, then you submit your CV and then you talk to them. But even if you do internship, I don't want it to be too long. Probably 3 months, something like that. So not too much lah, okay? Because I don't want it to affect your studies too much. So if you start maybe September, October, then you finish it before Chinese New Year, then it's good. All right, at least you get some kind of experience. It's nice on your CV. But I'll talk more about this individually with all of you sometime next week. Let's just get settled down with the class first. And one more part is, like I said, to prepare you all mentally to sit for the exam. Like I said, the belief system is the most important thing. I know a lot disagree with me, but I still stick with what I believe in. CLP is not hard, it's doable. So believe in yourself, okay? Trust in yourself. The preparation, all right, is there. But I also wanted to, should I talk about this here? Yeah. After this, we'll move into what you should do. Then after that, we take another half an hour, then I think we can finish. I wanted to talk here to share a few stories with you all. And I also wanted to, I think you all saw the news about some of the Tar College students, what happened in the past few weeks, which is saddening and sad. And we have come to a situation where every time something like this happened, and then we said, okay, you must try to be happy. No, the whole ecosystem has to change. Not just in Malaysia, but regardless of where you study, it's the same. That is why I said I have a very different vision. And what happened in the Tar College students gave me a new thought. When we started teaching the CLP, my purpose is we wanted to guide you to pass your exam in one attempt. We still stick with that. But I wanted to add something more. I want your learning process to be joyful, enjoyable, not stressful. Learning should be fun. Learning should be, wow, I learn new things. Since when learning is something so stressful? Since when we have come to a point where students get into depression studying? And I'll tell you a story. My mom wanted to go to school so much, but her family was so poor that couldn't afford to send her to finish her primary schools. Imagine if we could roll back the time and I tell my mom, you can go to school. You know how happy she would be? Do you think she would care so much about A or B or C or 40 marks or 60 marks? But we have come to a point now as if we don't pass the exam, it's a do or die thing. Every time during exam, June and July, I have students that get so stressful and depressed, and I spend a lot of time trying to prepare them, guide them, talk to them. And I hope this batch, all of you, learning should be fun, should be joyful, should be enjoyable, not something stressful. And I also wanted to take a few minutes to dedicate this particular section to parents. You can share it with your parents because your parents may not know, oh my God, my kids, my daughter, my son, whose class is he or she attending? And I wanted to use these few minutes to talk to parents. Okay? And I wanted to share a story with you all. It's a real story. A few years ago, I have a student, a full course student. And she registered the course. I think she registered college course as well. I think she come into my full course as well. And she studied along. Along the way, it started everything okay. But about 2 or 3 months after that, I find that she is a little bit behind. She's not following up. So I talk to students all the time and I ask what's happening, what's going on, things like that. And she started to tell me something about her, something very personal about her. She said she cannot sleep at night and she always have this emotional breakdown, started crying out of nothing, and sometimes have hallucinations. And she know I was a pharmacist. When I listen to that kind of symptoms, I know it is a depression symptom. So I told her, okay, number one, you need to talk to your family and parents, friends and family, because friends and family and friend support are very important. Number two, go and make an appointment with a specialist and doctor. Okay, specialist, I tell them specialist, not normal doctor, to diagnose and assess you. Few weeks later, she came back to me. She showed me a picture of all the medication she took. When I look at that medication, and I said, this is not a normal medication that the doctor will prescribe for an early sign of depression. These are very, very strong depression medication. It's either two things. Number one, the doctor diagnose not accurate, give something too strong. Or number two, your depression is very serious. Okay? Now, first thing, last time, you don't see depression happening in young students 20 plus. And that's why you see what happened in the TAR college students. I can tell you this is not the first case and this is not the last case. But I hope what I'm trying to do with you all is to create a joyful, enjoyable learning process with you all. And now, last time when you hear depression, is those old people, those coming back from war, W-A-R, those have poor childhood, those after giving birth. You don't hear depression in students. Now you hear them, 20 plus. Even like the case of Zara in Sabah recently, and the kind of bully, it will come to a point, depression is there. As young as 13, 14, 15 teenagers, and it is only a matter of time where you have young kids, 5 or 6 years old, have depression. It is only a matter of time. Can we do something about it? Learning should be joyful. And coming back to my student that time, she showed me that picture. And the first thing I asked her is, so I said, okay, now you're on medication, you need to full family support. Do you know what she told me? She said, she went to see a doctor with her friend, a best friend. She didn't tell her parents at all. And I asked her why. Why you didn't tell her parents? She said, her parents wouldn't believe this kind of thing. If she raised this thing to her parents will only think that she is making excuse not to study. Do you see the problem there? Parents, you should support your kids. Give them full supports. Learning should be a process. It's not a do or die thing. Imagine this student. I have never seen her face to face. We only contact through WhatsApp, and she can trust me so much to tell something so personal to me, yet she couldn't tell it to her parents. And do you see the problem there? I still talk to her. Quite frequently and ask her how is she doing, and she keep update me her issue, and I advise her what to do. At the end, she talked to her parents. She told her parents, I told her how you should speak to your parents about this. And her parents accepted that, and now the parents are fully supporting her, which I'm glad. She needs support in this kind of issue. Okay? So I hope and I wish you all and the future learning should be something joyful, enjoyable. Learn. Okay? It's like interesting. Wow, you learn new things. Right. Now, probably all of you know, what you need a mental preparation is strength. Okay? Be strength, mental strength, perseverance, discipline, stick to the discipline, 4 classes per week. And lastly, joyful. Be joyful. So this year I want to add something in, joyful. Be happy. There's something I call a personal performance diagnostic test. I don't think it apply to your, probably apply to the revision batch that's coming in. There is 1 or 2 students in this course where they have sat for the exam before, they have studied before, but they failed and they still wanted to come and join. So maybe I will do it with them. We will give this kind of students or revision students a set of questions early on, maybe October. A set of questions will include short questions, long questions about the exam topics, and also particular how you feel going into exam. So I wanted to answer so that we can sort of run a diagnostic test. Think of it as if like a blood test to see where did they go wrong last time. Where can we improve? Now, for your first timer, not so much because you didn't sit for the exam. So I just want to let you all know something that we wanted to do with the revision course student, and probably 1 of 2 students that is in this batch that have sat for the exam but wanted to do it again. So I wanted to do this with you. At least you know. Last time it was not so much on the technical part, but the balance, well balanced on the technical part and the mental part. Because to me, I always say that what affects is your belief system is your mental. The technical we can learn. Okay, so just something I want to let you know. Now, one more is your social media. You probably know me from the social media, but I wanted to tell you all what things we're doing with social media and where can you see something different this year. Now, in social media, we have a few different platforms. The first one probably you've seen me from, it's your Xiaohongshu, okay? I still post things on Xiaohongshu, different kinds of topics. I still keep it as it is. The second thing is your podcast. If you go into Spotify and search for CLP Classroom, you will see a podcast there. Currently, we have about 180 episodes, 180 of all topics, criminal, evidence, civil. So we will make some topics every month or every week or so and put it in there. So as we start and progress the course, we will make some new topics and put in there. So sometimes when I find that topic is suitable for the particular chapter that we are teaching, I will attach the podcast link into your learning management system, and then you see the podcast link there. If not, you can just go into Spotify and search for CLP Classroom, and you see that there are about 170 to 180 episodes right now in there. Now, third, we do have TikTok account. But the TikTok account currently is on Chinese content. And honestly, for TikTok and Instagram Reel, I don't do it so well because I don't have time. I wish I could do it much better, hopefully one day. But if you search CLP Classroom, it's on TikTok. If you search CLP Classroom, it's also on Instagram Reel. This year, we will start on Threads. Now, in Threads also, I wanted to talk a little bit more of behind the scenes. Because sometimes students were interested, Dennis, how did you do a part-time degree in law? How come from pharmacy you come and teach law? So I will share more on how it all started. Why did I do a pharmacy? What was the education like in the UK? Okay, after that, I come back, what did I do? Why did I study a law? How did I study? Where do I study it? What did I do in that 3 years? From law, why did I do a CLP? How did it all started? Why do I teach? What's my vision? What's my behind the scenes thing? What equipment do I use? So if you're interested in that, then maybe you can go and watch it. It's also called CLP Classroom. And the last one, it's YouTube. Now in YouTube, if you search for CLP Classroom, it's in there. But this year, I want you to take note on YouTube. I wanted to do something different in YouTube. This year, I wanted to post some kind of TED Talk style content. You know TED Talk? TED? TED-TALK, TED Talk style content. So we will post some kind of short, probably 5-minute TED Talk style content on different kind of topics. For example, indivisibility in land. For example, bail in criminal procedure. And this kind of content, we will post it on YouTube, we will post it on Instagram Reels, and we will post it on Xiaohongshu. So I just want you to take note. This is something I wish I can put it up by next month. I hope, okay? I try my best to do it. All right. Now, I've done explaining my part. Now it's your part. What should you do? And we'll take another 30 minutes to do that. Sorry, we don't have any break today because it's a chill class. I've been talking non-stop for 1 hour plus already, and we don't have any notes. So tomorrow, then we'll start, we will have break. After 15 minutes, we have a 10 minutes break. After 15 minutes, we have 10 minutes break. We have 2 breaks in between. Now, for you, your CLP, your approach, number 1, because you have so many things, isn't it? You have study manual, you have notes, you have social media, you have this and that. Which one should be your priority? Because you're like, how many, okay? Which one should I be the main one I follow? Your main one should be class recording. Okay? Follow along all class recording. Number 2 is the notes and cases we give you in class. So class recording should be your priority, number 1. Number 2 is the notes. I told you how many sets you have, the cases, whereabout you need to read, the summary, all these things. That is your second thing. So number 1, class. Number 2, notes and case. Number 3, it's your tutor support. So if in there is something that you don't understand, after explaining, even referring to the class transcript, referring to the notes you still understand, then you can text me. Okay, you can always come and discuss. I highly encourage students to come and discuss the issue with me. Last year I have a student, I have a very challenging student last year. Because normally there are a few different kind of students. Number one, the kind of students, they must know every single thing. Why is it not like this? Why is it not like that? Why is it like that? If they don't know, they cannot move on. Number two, the kind of students, they like to know the big picture overview. Last year, I have this student that she must know everything. And she has a lot of questions for me. And sometimes the questions she asks me, I was like, I never think about this before as well. And I have to go and find out. So she did challenge me, and it was a very interesting experience. Last year, I also have another student that the question that he asked me is very interesting. And I like that discussion with him. And he asked me question of kind of, what if we think it this way? What if I said, yeah. I said, not bad the way you think it. I say, I agree. Sometimes I disagree. Sometimes I agree with him. So I said to you, think of it as if I'm your senior, that we work in a law firm, and then we discuss on issue and cases. And the last one is your textbook. So even though I supply textbook to you, I don't really open a textbook and teach from them. It is there for you to find out, to refer to if you are doing something you don't understand. Okay, it is something for you to keep. So this is your priority. Number one, class recording. Number two, notes and cases. Number three, tutor support. And last, only textbook. So now we're clear? So at least I don't want you to feel that, oh my God, should I go textbook first? Should I go this first? This is your priority. Now, I said this before. CLP is not LLB. You cannot come into CLP and use the same way you study LLB. It will never work. In LLB, we can study last 3-4 months, look at some sample answer. We kind of still can squeeze it through. CLP cannot. You start the work this week. We spread it out. Never, ever leave it say until I will start April or March. No. You will find it very, very hard. And in CLP is a very technical paper. So you must understand every single thing. You must read statute. You must read cases. If your understanding stuck there and you didn't make it, you didn't understand it properly, then everything down there will go wrong. So you must make yourself clear, this is like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. Okay? This is the number one issue. Like I said, everyone says CLP is hard. It's because CLP students are the students that did UON and UKT. They come into CLP using the same way you study UON, UKT in CLP. It doesn't work. In MMU, they were trained and they were taught to learn in that particular way for 4 years. You all were not. You all learn in a particular way for 3 years, and then now you come in. Particular for last batch and this batch, I want to say something about this. This year, I have a lot of students, they come to me and tell me they have 2 more papers to sit in October. A lot. I was surprised. And I asked, why is it like this? Apparently, because of the COVID, first year and second year, it was an open book. Third year, because now it's a closed book, you separate them into 2 papers in May and 2 papers in October. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, that's what one of the students told me. So now you can foresee, when you come into CLP, you have to immediately get used to it, because first year, second year, open book. Third year, 4 paper, you still can separate it. CLP 5 paper in 10 days. You see that? Last time, I don't know what, before 2017, before 2016, your 5 paper in CLP was set in a week. Monday 1 paper, Tuesday 1 paper, Wednesday 1 paper, Thursday and Friday. Now they separate it. Monday 1 paper, Wednesday 1 paper, Friday 1 paper, then the next week, I think Monday or Tuesday 1 paper, then Wednesday or Thursday 1 paper. Then they provide statute to you. So now you see, if you have problem in your 3rd year already, then now you come into CLP. It is not about the bulkiness, it's the way that you have learned. You are so get used to it already. Suddenly, now you come into this way, so we must get used to it immediately. We must adjust ourselves. How? You must have a study timetable. If you look at the timetable, like I said, you don't have to worry about level 1, level 2, whatever. You just have to understand this timetable, okay? This is your timetable. I will still stick the same. We will have class every Monday to Thursday morning, 9:30 to 12:30. All class will be live class. You don't have to force yourself to come into live class if you are busy, if you enjoy watching recording, because you can always play back. Because I said, what's the point? You force yourself come into live class, you can only focus 50%, then you have to rewatch. It's a waste of time. If let's say I'm not free, which normally every year I will have a period of time, probably sometime in end of October, I have a family trip with my parents. For a week I'll be away, and sometime in April, that's the only time that I will not be around, for 1 week in end of October and probably few days or 1 week in April. So those time when I'm not around, I'll definitely tell you all well in advance, probably a few weeks beforehand, and that week of class will be a recorded class and you'll be uploaded on the learning system. Other than that, it's all live classes. And you all know the holiday. Christmas we have holiday, Chinese New Year we have holiday. I know next Monday and Tuesday is public holiday, but we still have class. I mean, it doesn't matter. If you have holiday, you want to go anywhere, go lah, go. Like I said, learning should be joyful, okay? Don't be stressful. If you have a party, you want to go out party with your friends, you want to go a trip, please go. Please go, okay? But then you must also have a study timetable. Your study timetable is this. You don't have to think so far ahead. You don't have to think how many notes I need to make. No. You only have one job. Your job is to finish 4 classes per week. That's it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You want to watch it Monday night, you want to watch it Saturday morning, you want to watch it Friday evening, up to you. I don't care how, but your job is to finish 4 classes per week. 12 hours only. 1 class 3 hours. 4 class 12 hours. 1 month, how many? You only need to spend 48 hours per month. That's it. Extra time, please go out and enjoy. Learning should be joyful. You know, imagine being a student. I enjoy being a student. When you start your work and then you miss being a student so much, that is your target. 4 classes per week. Can we do that or not? Not too hard, isn't it? Evening got time, night time got time, weekend got time. You only have to finish 4 classes per week, understand what you need to do, make whatever notes you need to make, read whatever case you need to read. That's it. Okay? Now, your class will start in September now. We will have lectures. The lectures will continue from September up until mid-February. In mid-February, we will have finished all the lectures of all 5 subjects. I don't like to have the lectures until late. We do not need to spend so many times on lectures. We need to spend more time on practicing past year question tutorial writing. That is why if you see the course, September to February is lecture. Whatever notes you need to make lecture, please finish up during that time. In mid-February to March, we will start past year question tutorial. Okay? We will start our past year question tutorial. Now, I want to say this. For sure, I can finish all the lecture by mid-February. No problem, for sure. Maybe if you look at the timetable, maybe sometimes we need to add on 1 more classes, but it won't run too far away. Maybe for civil, I was looking at the civil timetable, maybe I wanted to add 1 more, but if I add 1 more, maybe we will find 1 day to do on Friday morning or whatever. But it won't run too far. Either we add 1 or 2 more, but the 98% will be like that, the timetable. For students, normally they will not be able to follow. I mean, once we start the course tomorrow, lectures will start piling up. Sometimes they're busy, sometimes they cannot catch up. We will finish lecture by mid-February, but students normally wouldn't be able to finish all the lectures. They can still have something to catch up. I always give them a timeline. Your timeline, your cut-off point to finish all the lecture recording is before end of March. Must be, strictly. If after March, April, you still spending your time to watching lecture recording, no good. No good at all. Your cut-off point must be before end of March. The earlier, the better, because we finish lecture recording by mid-February. By March, you must finish all the lecture recording and you must start past year question tutorial. When we start past year question tutorial, again for class, we will do one paper per class. Every year, I will tell the student the same, and every year the student come back to me and say, Dennis, you are right. What is it? When we start past year question tutorial in February and March, we do 4 papers per week, 1 paper per class. But for you, at most, when you start past year question tutorial, you can only manage to write up 2 papers per week. We do 4 per week, but at most, you can only do 2 papers per week, and that is also if you put in time every week. Because in the beginning, you will find it very hard. You have all the knowledge, but you don't know how to apply it. You're stuck there. You need to refer here, refer there, refer here, refer there. By right, in exam, you have to do 4 questions in 3 hours. If one paper has 7 questions, we do all in the past year question tutorial. By right, you only need 5 hours. But in the beginning, I can tell you, you will take 3 days to finish that 7 questions. For sure, 3 days. The more you do, you get faster. 3 days to 2 days, 2 days to 1 day. So that is why you were stuck there in the beginning. Particularly right now, your open book now, you change it in February, March. So I want you to stick to your study timetable. And I always say this to the student. For a student to make it or break it for CLP, it's either you can make it or you break it. The important month is February and March. If you can push through in February and March, then at least you're on the right pathway. But if you cannot, if you leave it and say, never mind lah, December I got holiday, Christmas I only study, cannot, please, you will not be able to make it. Everything will start to pile up. And then February, March still cannot finish lecture recording, April still cannot, then you're stuck there. And you think that, okay, I just read past year question, sample answer. Cannot, it will not work. You will find it very difficult. So I don't have anything difficult for you. I just have one goal for you. I state to you what I want to do, assist your past year exam, okay? Build this thing, build that thing, instill good value. You only have one job. Please finish 4 classes per week. That's it. 12 hours. If you're a full course student, I don't see why you cannot find 12 hours per week to do it. If you can follow along, 4 classes per week, then you're in good hand. Please don't think I will just leave it to November or December. I know some of you still have two papers of LRB, then you need some catch up. Still okay. But please don't say I'll leave it to March. No, it will never work. Okay? Like I said, when you start your past year question tutorial, you'll find it a bit difficult because you still not get used to it. Then, your exam will be sometime in July, mid-July or early August. Now, we will start your exam application. We will start to prepare in December. So don't worry. Some of you texted me, Dennis, what documents? Forget about it. Don't worry. I just want you to focus on one thing right now. Focus on lecture recording. Read the notes. Read the case. Do whatever notes you need. For those exam application, don't worry. We will guide you. We'll come to you and we'll remind you, and we'll start it by end of November and early December. Okay? We'll guide you step by step. We will certify all the documents for you. Don't worry about it. Okay? That is not... I don't want you to waste your time to worry about it. Don't worry. We will guide you, okay? I just want you to focus on your study. So I want to make things as simple as possible for you. As case you got, notes you got, recording everything, but at the same time, I wanted to instill that good values in you. This is the timeline for you, okay? Remember, very important. Now, next one. How do you arrange your notes? Since I told you your notes are like that already. Because I don't want you to happen like my ex-student that one. They show me the notes. 30 charts in one notes. How do you want to memorize that? So we already talked about what kind of notes you'll be getting, what kind of cases, how you'll be labeled. Then now, you will be very sure, how many set of notes you get. You go back today, in your laptop or iPad, you set up 5 files. This is civil, PP, GP, criminal evidence. In every file, let's say for civil procedure, you have 2 sub-files. Notes and tutorials. How many sets of notes? It'll be based on the number of sets of notes that we will tell you. For example, tomorrow, Civil, I'll tell you this is the number of sets of notes we'll be getting. So for sure, in that sub-file notes, you will know you have this number of set of notes. So you don't arrange your notes based on date. You don't arrange your notes based on lecture. You arrange them based on the chapter number and topic. Because like I said, maybe we need 2 classes to finish the lecture, the chapter. Maybe one class we can finish 2 or 3 chapters sometimes because it's small. So you arrange it based on the number of sets. For tutorials, you know for sure you have 14 sets because you'll be doing 2018 to 2025. For professional practice, you have 4 subjects in there. Ethics, land, bankruptcy, probate. So we talk more about that on Wednesday. Same thing with general paper, you have contract and tort in there, and we talk more about that on Thursday. Okay? Now, if you wanted to make your own notes, I suggest you all get this kind of book. Because sometimes I look at their notes. They buy that notepad A4, right? Let's say they start with the notes. Let's say civil procedure courts jurisdiction, then second chapter, limitation. Suddenly they got another courts jurisdiction extra notes they want to add in. How? Slip in here and there, stapler here and there. So messy. If you know me enough, I'm a very organized person. I don't like my stuff to be very messy. So if you go back to the YouTube, I didn't talk any of these things at all. Every year, I will tell the students, every year at the end of each course, I will text the student and say, I hope I can teach you all more than CLP. Other skills. So I try to incorporate some other skills in the course as well. And today, I want to teach your organization skill. How do you organize? The first point in time, very important. Now, I suggest you all get this kind. You can get this kind. I got a sample here. It's something like this. You buy from Shopee. You can buy the A4 one. So the notes I give you, you can print it out if you want. Or if you don't want, you want to put it in your good notes. If you want good notes, up to you. You can file it e-notes, up to you. So let's say this is the A4 one. They will have something like this. You see, they have like a holes in there. So you can use this to print out, let's say, and then file it in there like this. So let's say now you got extra case or extra notes suddenly you read. You want to insert into the chapter number 2 arrest or limitation. You can flip there and just open up on the binder. Because there's a binder you can open up. Okay? So your notes won't be here a bit, there a bit, here a bit, there a bit. Everything is in chapter by chapter. Even you have done chapter number 1, chapter number 2, chapter number 3. Suddenly you got one more extra case in chapter number 1. You can still go back to chapter number 1, open up, okay, slip it in. Everything is neat and tidy. So when you go into the exam, before an exam, everything is one place. Because I see the students' note before an exam, they show me, oh my God, how? You already know. I mean, the same analogy I use every year with the students. Imagine you have 100 shirts for male, okay, man. Female, you have 100 dress. How you want to arrange it? You will arrange it, number 1, based on color, isn't it? Or you may arrange it based on function. This is for dinner. This is for daily wear. This is for office work. If you have 100 and 200 dress, you just arrange it as it is. You already forget which dress you have bought. How you want to find the dress, how you want to find the shirt. I don't know, maybe you arrange that way, but if me, I definitely arrange it based on function. This is dress, this is daily wear, this is jeans, this is it. So same thing, your notes. Arrange it. Okay, so it's easy for you to find. Now, your mindset. Just now we talked about my part to build your mental strength, to create a joyful learning experience. All right? What about you? First, set your goal. Our goal is simple. Your goal is simple. To pass your CLP exam in 1 attempt next year. To finish off 4 recordings per week. To enjoy the next 10, 11 months. And to learn as much as possible from me. And you can be sure I will dedicate my time, my sweat, my effort, my blood, my tears, everything to guide you all. Because I want you all to pass more than you want to pass, actually. Okay? Set your goal. Second, discipline. To pass your CLP exam, discipline. Like I say, stick to the timetable I suggest you. 4 per week. So that's why we don't need many class. 4 per week. Your job is to finish 4 per week and finish your lecture recording by latest March. And you must start your past year question tutorial. You already know we are doing 14 sets. You already know how many notes. So everything now you has lay clear in front of you already. And last, enjoy. Enjoy. This is one of the theme and topic I wanted to bring out this year. Enjoy. Enjoy your next 10, 11 months. Joyful. Learning should be something joyful, not stressful. Okay? I think that's probably about it. Right. Now, okay, so that's it for the course induction today. Yeah, 2 hours, just like I expected. So I spoke for 2 hours non-stop. So I hope that you have a good idea of what we'll be doing, what I will be doing for you, and what you need to do for yourself. Tomorrow we start. Okay, tomorrow we start straight away, serial procedure. No honeymoon period. If you think that you can come in here and, honeymoon a bit, you may just sit there and just read the notes and then you can pass. I'm sorry, this course is not for you. But I will make it as easy as possible for you. All right? And I just want you to stick to your plan, your goal, your discipline, and enjoy the rest of the course. Tomorrow we start serial procedure, same thing, 9:30. So normally I will come into normally you see around 9:27, 25, 26, you start to see the Google Meet playing already, class starting soon. And normally I'll come in about 9:30, 9:31. On time, normally I just come. Normally I'll start 1 or 2 minutes late to wait for some of the students come in. 9:31, 9:32, something like that, and we'll start straight away. So no late class, we start on time. 9:30, 9:31, 9:32. Okay, we start there. And 9:30 we'll have the class until 10:30. Right, that when we take a 10 minutes break, and then after that to 11:30, then take another 10 minutes break, and then to 12:30. Okay, and then we finish off the class. Sometimes we may have class where we do not need full 3 hours, then we will finish early. But in the beginning, like now, for the next 2-3 months, I think most of the class will be around 3 hours because in the beginning we have to go through quite a lot of things. So tomorrow we start serial procedure. You will have one set of notes, and tomorrow you go through it. You know an overview of serial procedure, how many sets of notes you'll be getting, and you have one set of notes. Now, for this one, I'll just share with you. You see here, for today, the class, I'll upload here something called course induction. Okay, I'll upload it here. So let's say for those that come in to the class tomorrow, I will upload the notes that you need for tomorrow, somewhere here, notes for next lesson. Normally, I'll upload it the night before, like tonight or probably the morning. Let's say 9:30 class, I'll upload it around 9 o'clock. So you don't have to go in and look at it. So of course, after that, so you can download it and follow along to the class. After that, once we have the recording class, then we'll upload it here in level 1. You see that? Overview of serial procedure, so the notes will come in here, the recording will come in here, and then any article link, cases, podcast link, everything is in here. So everything in one place. And one thing about this I like about this is, so you can see your completion progress, and also I can see how much of completion. If I see by December you still start at 10%, then I think that something's wrong. Something is not right already. Something really not right. Okay? Now, same thing we will do with professional practice on Wednesday. And then we will do with general paper on Thursday. So no more course induction, no more listening to me talking about other things. I think by now you all should know. And tomorrow we start the real work. And 4 weeks per class. So you don't have to, so all you know, you just have to think about completing 4 weeks, and class is on every Monday morning, 9:30. Monday to Thursday morning, 9:30, finish 12:30. That's it. Okay, I just want to talk a little bit more about your registration. This batch, I will open up a WhatsApp group for all of you by end of this month, because there are still students enrolling right now. So I cannot be sure how many they are there. So sometimes they come in a bit late. Some of this, like particularly this year, a lot of you have still 2 more papers to see in October. So some come in a bit late. But I'm assuming we have probably about 40 plus students for full course this year. I will open up a WhatsApp group by end of this month, and then everything I can communicate in there with y'all. Anything I'll still come and normally my pattern, my style and habit is I'll come and speak to y'all every 3 weeks or once every month to see how you are doing. If you have any questions for me, are you following along? So please, and I always say this to the student, if you find that you cannot catch up because it's a bit too hard, please tell me. Or if you find that you are losing concentration, cannot focus, please tell me. Because if you don't, I cannot do things for you. I cannot help you. Don't leave it to last minute. Last year, July, not this year, last year, July, I have a revision student, 2024. 2 days before the exam, he called me. I said, Dennis, can I have a call with you? I said, okay, then arrange IFC. He called me on Friday night and tell me that he didn't do this and he didn't know it, cannot sit for the exam. And I asked him, why only tell me now? Your exam is on Monday morning. You call me on Friday night. Saturday, Sunday, LPQB is closed. What can you do now? You cannot do anymore. So I think he didn't go for the exam. It's too late. So once you have issue, once it pop up, straight away we settle it. Don't wait. If you find that, Dennis, I find it a bit difficult, please tell me immediately. Don't wait until April next year, please. You can always text me. Okay, you got my number, things like that. That's my work phone. You can text me. All right. And this year we have quite a few students where you are matured student from Bachelor of Juris. All right. And same thing, never use the way you study juris to come in and study CLP. And these few juris students, I think about 3 or 4 of you wanted to sit for the exam in Basam Melayu. The notes that I give you is in English, but I have tried ChatGPT translation, accurate. So you can just upload and translate it, no problem. The case, same thing, but I will try to see if I can get the case translated for you. Maybe for you to translate the case is a little bit hard, but I'll try my best and see how it works. For these matured students, normally, like I suggest you all to take 2 years to finish it. For full course students, full-time student, you start this year, you next year sit for the exam. For matured student like those with family and full-time work, normally I'll suggest that they start this year, they take 2 years to finish it because they have family to take care, and then they will sit for the exam in 2027. Now, one more thing I want to add on before we go. If let's say you start now, I will keep talk to you, and I will know for sure by December or January, I can know already your progress, and I will know, are you ready to sit for the exam? And if I feel that you are not ready to sit for the exam, let's say you're a full-time student, I would advise you don't register for it. Because if you didn't follow along and you only wanted to start in January, it's a bit too late. And then I would advise you not to register so that you don't waste the money. Means you register for the exam in 2027. So we will see how it works out. As we progress, then I'll see how's your progress, how you are following along, are you catching up? Okay, then I'll advise you what to do. So don't worry about the registration. I don't want you to waste your time and worry about it. Are we clear? You only have one goal. I tell you what we'll be doing for you. You can see how different is it this year. You only want job, 4 class per week. That's it. Okay? Promise me. All right? You promise me 2 things. I just want you to promise me 2 things. Promise me you can finish 4 class per week. And promise me, please, enjoy. Joyful. Go out and play. Please go and holiday, go and party with your friends. Please enjoy. Okay, that's the best I hope for my students. All right, okay, so we shall stop here. Okay, we shall stop here, and then we'll continue back the class tomorrow morning, 9:30. Then tomorrow we start. Tomorrow you have set of notes, so I'll upload the set of notes probably by tonight or tomorrow morning. And then we will start with the sale procedure. What you need during the class, it's the set of notes and also statute. Okay, If you want to put your textbook beside, also can. Statute. If you don't have the statute with you, then download the e-statute which I uploaded. You want the e-statute also can. You want to use the physical statute also can. We will go through the statute tomorrow. Okay, we'll read word by words. What does this word mean? What does that word mean? All right, okay, then I'll let you all go and I'll see you all tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye, everyone, bye.